Hello everyone, intuitive and astrologer Lisa Salvatore here to talk to you about one of the biggest planetary alignments of this year, even arguably more so than the solar eclipse that we just had. And that is the conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus. This alignment of Jupiter and Uranus happens on April 20th at 21 degrees of Taurus. This is not a one and done transit. This is not a one and done energy. This is an energy that has already been in the making and will continue to shape our future, both collectively and personally, for years to come. Now, the alignment of Jupiter and Uranus, the planets, happen once every 14 years. However, due to the orbit of Uranus has an 84-year orbit to go through all 12 zodiac signs. Jupiter goes through each zodiac sign once a year, so Jupiter takes 12 years. So to have a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction within and of itself is not that rare. But adding to the rarity of this particular alignment of Jupiter and Uranus in the sign of Taurus is that we have not had an alignment of these two planets in the sign of Taurus since May of 1941, so around 83 years ago. So first and foremost, let's just quickly dive into what these planets represent. And it's important to remember that all of the planets are very multifaceted, and there are many different archetypes that fall under the umbrella of every single planet. Jupiter is a social planet. It sits between the inner planets and the outer planets. Uranus is an outer planet, okay, or a transpersonal planet. Jupiter straddles the middle between the interpersonal planets and the outer personal planets. Again, Jupiter is more about the way that we operate societally and how this shapes our beliefs. It's also our spiritual and our philosophical beliefs. It's the constant expansion and education that we receive, the expansion of our higher mind, the opening up of our energy as we move, grow, and learn throughout this life by what we experience in the world, how it shapes us both individually and then, of course, collectively. It's how we individually respond to the collective energy. Jupiter is all about growth and opportunity and abundance. It's about the bigger picture. It's about seeing beyond. It's about looking at the horizon, looking at the bright side, finding the silver lining. It's about the broader aspects of our existence here. Now, there's also a shadow side to Jupiter. Jupiter can also be about greed. It can be too much of a good thing. It can be gluttony. And in the sign of Taurus, even more so, because Taurus is a physical earth sign that's all about the material world. It's all about the connection to what we can taste, touch, see, hear, and feel. And we can overdo it where Jupiter's involved. Then we have the planet Uranus. And Uranus represents change and sudden change at that, and oftentimes disruption, chaos even. It's the proverbial electric shock wave that upsets everything. And Uranus actually does rule over electricity. In fact, Uranus is known as the god of lightning or the god of thunder. And Jupiter in mythology was also known as the sky god. He is the king of the gods. He's all about bounty. And Uranus is about freedom. Uranus is about truth, raw truth. Uranus is about rebellion. Jupiter is also about freedom. This is about breaking us free from what confines us, both personally and societally, collectively. Now, this alignment is happening in the sign of Taurus. Again, Taurus is an earth sign. Taurus is very much connected to the physical. Taurus is also the sign that rules over money. It is a sign that is very much concerned with stability and material items, material security, material resources. Taurus is also about the earth, literally about Mother Earth. Now, we know there's been a tremendous increase in seismic activity, and I expect that that will likely, unfortunately, increase as we move closer and closer to this conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus. But Mother Earth is talking to us. So this Jupiter and Uranus alignment is all about embracing the new while recognizing and maintaining the value and sustainability that the Taurus energy brings in. This is a time of tremendous breakthroughs. We are going to see tremendous breakthroughs with technology, with the financial systems. And yeah, sometimes it can certainly be disruptive, but it will ultimately lead to tremendous growth and change and transformation. And also a tremendous wave of technological and social reforms. Change is the name of the game. And if you know anything about the archetype of Taurus, Taurus is not one sign that really loves change, but change we must under these energies. So personally speaking, you're going to want to look to the part of your birth chart that contains Taurus, because this is where this alignment will take place. Now, this is going to be felt by everybody, but if you have strong Taurus placements, especially your sun, your moon, or your rising sign, also your Jupiter, your north node, And even more specifically, if the degrees of your Taurus placements fall between 18 degrees and 23 degrees, you are likely going to be impacted the most strongly by this Jupiter-Uranus alignment. Lucky you. This is a good thing. This is powerful. But remember, with power can also come greed. So we have to watch the way we use our energy, the way we expend our energy, and keep working toward good karma, good deeds. So again, it will be the strongest for the Taurus energies. And think of it this way. If your birthday falls between May 5th and May 18th, you're definitely going to be feeling this alignment. This is a call to expand. This is a call to innovate. This is your cue to not be afraid to go out of the box. This is your time. Opportunities will likely present themselves to you. They probably already have, but you must go where you're truly aligned in your truth. Because with Uranus here, it's all about truth. Don't be afraid to walk your path. Also, make sure you're checking in with your finances. How are those going for you? This alignment will also be very potent if you have anything between 18 and 23 degrees of the other earth signs, which are Virgo and Capricorn. And also if any of your angles, okay, the backbones of your chart, which is the ascendant, the descendant, the midheaven, or the imum coli, within those degree points of Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. And if you have a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction at birth. If all of that confuses you and you don't get it, just leave that alone. Don't even worry about it. I'm going to go through what this means for you by sign where this alignment will take place. Remember, you can always download your free birth chart right on my website, linked in the description box below. You can also go to astro.com. It's also free. You can pull up your birth chart there, and then you can also pull up the transit so that you can see where Jupiter and Uranus will be transiting. Again, if that's too advanced for you, don't worry about it. But this is a good energy to set intentions for your future, for your financial future, and just your future in general, the path you want to go down, the bigger picture, the bird's eye view when you look ahead. There's a quote by the author Joseph Campbell that I love, and I always equate this with Jupiter. Take one step toward the gods, and the gods will then in turn take 10 toward you. All you have to do is open up your mind. You have to believe it, right? It's like when you're exercising. If your mind believes it, your body will achieve it. That's the truth. That's with anything in life. You have to believe it. And Jupiter is all about our beliefs. What do you believe in? How committed are you to your beliefs? How committed are you to opening yourself up to chance and change? Jupiter is also about chance and change. Speaking of which, let's pull in the tarot for a moment. So when you think about Uranus, the planet of change and eccentricity and walking your own path and taking a leap of faith, whether that's thrust upon you by outside forces, because oftentimes when Uranus is involved, we do receive disruption from the outside, which then precipitates change. And a lot of times, especially when we're dealing with the energy of Taurus, it's change we don't necessarily want. We've dug our hooves in, we're comfortable where we are, and the universe steps in and is like, nope, you have to move forward. We're prodding the bull. And in this case, with Uranus and Taurus, it's zapping the bull. No matter what tarot deck you're using, the Fool is always 0. The Fool's journey. The Fool starts the journey through all of the archetypes of the tarot. The Fool will meet himself in every single archetype as we move throughout the journey of the tarot again and again and again. We will all be the Fool at one or more points on our journey. Uranus rules the Fool. The Fool is all about liberation, stepping out on a new path, carving out a new path, taking a leap of faith, and in some cases it could be about being a literal fool and making foolish choices and decisions. But whatever it is, it's all about the lessons. It's all about the learning. Uranus also rules over the Tower card, and the Tower is about disruption. This is about disruptive change that comes in to clear a path, the path. It's electrifying, it's often shocking, but once the dust settles from the Tower, we're left to make do with what it is that we have, and we rebuild. And the card that follows the Tower is the Star, which is all about healing. And then we have Jupiter, the king of the gods. And Jupiter is the 10th card of the major arcana of the tarot. And Jupiter rules the Wheel of Fortune. The wheel is all about taking chances. It's about the wheel spinning, fates cackling. And in that moment, we decide, free will kicks in. And it's like, do you get on the wheel or do you get off the wheel? Since we're also talking about finances here with Taurus, do you gamble? Do you take that gamble? Do you make that investment? Do you buy that piece of property? It could be that way for you as well. But this is what all of this is about. Taking chances, opening up your mind, being open to a higher viewpoint, making amends wherever you need to, accepting truth, change, and chance as a part of life, and knowing that things have to change, and they will. Collectively speaking, let's talk about money for a moment, because again, this is a big transit that has to do with our finances. Diamonds, gold, silver, all through the roof. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. There will also likely be lowered interest rates around the time of this conjunction. So again, this might be the time to take some chances. Now, you always would want to have a personal reading to go further into that. Again, I'm speaking broad, okay? I'm speaking generalized of what we might expect. Remember, Jupiter and Uranus is all about the future. It's all about the bigger picture. It's all about moving ahead, leaps and bounds. It's higher consciousness, it's spiritual wisdom. Uranus is the God mind. This is where we get the intuitive downloads, and they're sharp and they're clear. It's such a tremendous energy of growth and exploration. This is also positively powerful for the fixed energies, which are Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, and of course, Taurus. Everyone's abilities are becoming more intense. The otherworldly is becoming much more the norm. Remember, Uranus was first discovered in 1801. It's an outer planet. It's transpersonal. It vibrates at a much more deeper spiritual level. It's right outside the realms of our consciousness, okay? Uranus is very much connected to space, the galactic, the three-dimensional. The galaxy, new discoveries, which there definitely will be more of that as Pluto's also in Aquarius right now. And especially as we move throughout 2026, 2027, 2028, when the outer planets shift signs and begin to harmonize, we're really going to see an uptick in all of this. But there's still a lot we have to get through first. A lot of change and a lot of transformation. You can also expect to see a lot with farming. That's Taurus, food, the food supply, innovation and farming. There's also a lot of protests going on in Europe regarding the farmers and the farming there, okay? And let's not forget that Jupiter and Uranus, this is about protesting. This is about, and also with Pluto and Aquarius, this is about the people coming together and banning and standing up for a cause, for a common cause. So we're going to see a lot more of that as well, a lot more revolutionary behaviors, a lot more revolutions and revelations, belief systems shifting very quickly, with freedom being the goal, okay? Freedom is the name of the game. Just talk to anyone going through a Jupiter-Uranus transit. They will break free from the chains that bind them. Absolutely, 100%. Let me quickly show you what I put together here. So we have the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, April 20th, 2024 at 21 degrees and 49 minutes of Taurus. Takes place at 9:03 p.m. Eastern Time. But again, it's not a one-hit wonder. Now, we will all experience this energy, like I mentioned, somewhere in our life, somewhere in our chart. So don't forget to go and check your chart. It's going to be the most impactful for Taurus placements, 18 to 23 degrees. And also our fixed placements, which are Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Then again, Virgo and Capricorn, 3 degrees out on either side. Also the angles. And like I mentioned, the last time we had this alignment was in May of 1941. Now, I pulled this in here because I found this quite interesting. I'm not saying this is going to happen again, and I certainly hope it does not. But last year, we had the writer strike and the actor strike. Now, if we go back to the last time we had this alignment in Taurus, Disney was dealing with strikes, and they formed the union. The Disney artists formed the union that grew to become what is now the Animation Guild, Local 839. It was a very contentious outcome, with the most popular vote being no, but it did pass, however. Now, here's the interesting thing. Their next round of negotiations is this year. The contracts are set to expire after July 31st of this year. So if the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees were to strike, the earliest that this could technically happen would be August 1st, which, I have to mention, is a full 3 months plus from when this powerful Jupiter-Uranus transit would have perfected or would have been exact, okay? So this is really interesting. Again, not saying this will happen, just showing you the possibilities of how things do come full circle. And I know a lot of people will say that history repeats itself. And that's why I always change that to history mimics itself, with the hope that it will not be exactly the same. Because we know better, we know different. Jupiter, we've learned, hopefully. Now, here's another thing that I found interesting. Will there be another strike? I'm saying I certainly hope not, but let's not ignore the fact that we're going to have a Mars-Uranus conjunction in Taurus on July 15th. Well, what do you know? The contract is set to expire July 31st, and this exact alignment of Mars and Uranus, which tends to be very contentious, brings everything up to the surface, some form of an implosion. And it's in Taurus, so it's about what's solid, what's real, what's fair. It involves money. And again, that conjunction is July 15th, 2024. So hopefully that's just a coincidence, right? Okay, then I went on. I just wanted to put this in here. Just some past Jupiter-Uranus conjunction events, just to give you an idea of what we can start to see more of. So in 1775 and 1776, we had this conjunction in Gemini. This was the start of the American Revolution. In 1788 through 89, it brought in the French Revolution. Well, it didn't bring it in, but it was co-present alongside this event. Well, it didn't necessarily bring it in, but this occurred under this energy. Then in 1782 and 1783, we had the hot air balloon launch and the first flight by the Montgolfier brothers. And then in 1899 through 1901, the Wright brothers first developed and experimented with hand gliders. Aviation. Uranus rules over aviation and space travel. Let's not forget, Jupiter is expansion. Jupiter is something new. Jupiter is opening us up and broadening our horizons. So we are going to definitely see leaps and bounds within space travel and air travel. And if you grew up in the 80s, like I did, the Jetsons was one of my favorite cartoons. And if you think back to the Jetsons, yeah, that always reminds me of this Jupiter-Uranus alignment. Okay, then 1927, 1928, Charles Lindbergh was the first to fly across the Atlantic solo. July 20th, 1969, this conjunction happened at 0 degrees of Libra. And we had the moon landing, which I know is very controversial, but this is when Neil Armstrong landed on the moon. Huge development in our history. Then in 1844, 1845 was the invention of the telegraph. 1879, 1880, this is when Albert Einstein was born, and the electric light bulb was also invented. Electricity. Uranus rules over electricity. Uranus rules over the higher mind. Albert Einstein was a genius. He was very Uranian. Then 1954, 1955, Steve Jobs was born under Jupiter-Uranus, and he co-founded Apple. This guy was a technological genius. Jupiter-Uranus. He was born with a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. 1982 through 1983, actually this technically happened in January of 1984. So the conjunction happened in 1982, 1983, but in 1984, the first Macintosh computer was launched, which means that it was definitely in the works during the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. Now, I have been dabbling with learning about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency more, and I've been doing it more for the astrological purpose, and I have a lot of clients that use these modalities. So I wanted to learn and understand more about them, Bitcoin specifically. So I actually did some digging and I went ahead and pulled up the chart for Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is very ambiguous. Bitcoin was, I guess, born on January 3rd, 2009, and the place of birth for this chart that is used is London. So I just went off of all of the research that I've done, and this is the chart that everyone uses. And what I found really, really interesting, and I was actually, I guess, surprised about this because I didn't know too much about it, is that Bitcoin was actually founded under very powerful, strong energies of longevity, okay? Long lasting, built to last, but also kind of obscure. But there's a lot of strength to this chart. First of all, you can see over here, there's an abundance of Capricorn. The chart is born under a Capricorn sun, and it's a sun conjunct Mars, which is a lot of strength. Capricorn is ruled by the planet Saturn, and Saturn is structure. Saturn is very grounded. Saturn is something that's built to last, and it teaches us the value of hard work. So this is something that could work very well, but it takes a lot for it to work. And there's an understanding that needs to be had in order for it to work. Capricorn is also an earth sign, let's not forget. Earth is about what's tangible, it's about what's practical, it's about what's real, it's about what's grounded. And again, Capricorn is one of the signs more than any other that's all about building something that's going to last and not investing in it if it's not going to last. Interestingly enough, Jupiter is at the 29th degree of Capricorn at the time of the birth of Bitcoin, at the time of the recorded birth of Bitcoin. Then we've also got Mercury over here in Aquarius. We've got the North Node in Aquarius. We've got Neptune in Aquarius. Aquarius is also ruled by Saturn and Uranus. So again, this is something that's about change. This is something that's very innovative. This is something that not everybody understands, but comes in very quickly and sort of upsets the apple cart a bit, right? Because I know a lot of people have very strong opinions on Bitcoin, for better or worse. I'm still quite neutral. I'm in the middle here because I'm still learning about it. But just going from the astrological perspective, Bitcoin has a strong chart. The angles of the chart of Bitcoin, the midheaven is Aries, powerful, independent. Eris, goddess of discord, is right aligned with the midheaven. So yeah, this is something that is a very, I guess, instigative kind of a modality of finances. Eris elevated right near the midheaven, which is saying, yeah, like this chart has a voice. And this could be an irritant to other financial systems. Bitcoin, it can be an irritant to other financial structures and systems. It's also got Leo ascending. Again, another strong sign. Leo's ruled by the sun, the giver of life. It's vitality. Saturn is retrograde in this chart right over here in Virgo. Again, another earth sign, but Saturn retrograde here is definitely talking about quite the karmic component to Bitcoin in general for our collective, for the world. The thing is, we can't argue the fact that Uranus being in Taurus from 2018 to 2026, it's definitely here to transform, because that's what Uranus is all about, right? It's about breaking us down and transforming the way things are. It's, the way we view our money and our resources. And it doesn't take much to realize that this is honestly quite the segue to electronic currency. Now, will it survive the transition? I don't know, but it does have a strong chart. So that's what I was saying. It does have a strong chart. I was actually quite surprised when I saw this. So yeah, it's very volatile, but underneath all of that volatility, the chart of Bitcoin is actually quite solid. So again, Bitcoin is quite volatile. At least that's how it's perceived. I've always perceived it that way. It's quite volatile. I didn't really understand it. I still don't totally understand it, but I'm learning. But from the astrological standpoint, structurally, Bitcoin has a strong core. It has a strong, solid chart. And I know there's a lot of astrologers that do this for a living, and I'm definitely not one of those, and I will not pretend to be, but I will say, just from dabbling and looking at it from the astrological perspective, I was quite surprised to see the stability underneath the layers of what little I've known about Bitcoin. But again, this is so fitting for the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, for the Uranus and Taurus years, and for digital currency. Now let's get to the signs. Remember, follow your rising sign for most accuracy. You can always go and download your birth chart for free right on my website, right on my homepage where it says free birth chart. And you can just note the placement of your ascendant or your rising sign, which is the same thing, and follow that. So if you are an Aries rising, this is going to affect your finances big time. So really think about your financial future. Review your investments. Maybe seek out new sources of income. Maybe now is the time to start your side hustle or turn your side hustle into a new business. This could be a time filled with unexpected opportunities for you, financially speaking. Real estate might be something you want to get more into. Now's the time to do it. Open up your mind, expand your thoughts. You can also have an increase in your resources, in your financial stability. But remember, like everything with Jupiter, there's always a shadow side, and there can always be the potential to overdo it or to take unnecessary risks. So you really do want to weigh everything out. So making sure you're trying to stay as balanced as possible throughout this process is going to help you that much more. If you're a Taurus rising, this conjunction is, I'm so excited for you. Seriously. This is a time of new beginnings, brand new beginnings and excitement. This is bigger than any new moon that we're going to have for you in Taurus. This is big, okay? Think of this as setting you up for the next 2 decades. So dream big, vibe on what you want, disconnect from whatever it is that does not feed your soul, or even worse, insults your soul. Do it kindly. Remember, you want to keep your karma clear, and be open to what the universe wants to bring in for you, the bounty that is coming in. This is financial, this is emotional, this is physical, this is spiritual. This is your overall life journey, okay? It's a big deal. New opportunities, courage to make the changes that you need to make. I know I said Taurus doesn't love to make changes, but under this energy, under these energies, under these times, you're going to feel more inclined, more pushed into doing so. And on the other side of that is brand new beginnings. Gemini rising, this conjunction is going to definitely be a very large creative opening for you. Your intuition can become very increased and enhanced, as can your creativity. Hidden talents could come to the surface. Hidden emotions can also come to the surface. This is also a great time for you to dive into any mystical subjects, divination, meditation. Connect to your inner self. This alignment is going to really provide the impetus for that for you. It's also a time of extremely expansive spiritual discoveries. You might find that your dreams are very prophetic or bringing in messages and symbolism in ways they never have before. And opportunities are likely going to come up for you to break free from old patterns that are holding you in place, that are holding you from growth, that are holding you back from healing, or that have been. Listen to your inner guidance and keep the focus on your spiritual growth, on your spiritual path. For Cancer rising, this is going to be about opportunities within groups that you're a part of, friendships, lots of innovation and expansion in these areas of your life. This alignment can bring in a tremendous growth within your social standing, your social activities, opportunities to participate in community events or events for a cause, things that bring joy into your heart and into your life, tremendous spiritual advancement. You could have wishes that are yours that are granted at this time, not to sound all hocus pocus, but it is Jupiter and Uranus in the 11th house, which is your hopes, dreams, wishes, aspirations. So again, vibe on what you want. You could also be very much connected to issues around freedom and equality, especially when it comes to social justice and human rights. Taking more of a leadership role in society or even in your community could also be very prevalent under these energies. Leo rising, this alignment can bring tremendous growth and opportunities within the realm of your career and your public image and what you do out in the world. This is your status. This is your societal reputation. Jupiter's all about the society, right? Uranus is about breaking free. This is going to be a very liberating energy for you, for everyone. But this is where it's going to hold the most merit in the areas of your career, your public reputation, your status. Sounds pretty sparkly to me. Again, expect career opportunities, career growth, chances for advancement, a promotion, a new job, more money, early retirement that you weren't expecting. It could work out in many different ways, but whatever it is, it's going to be positive and it's going to be abundant for you. Maybe this is the time that you have the courage to actually step out and start your own business. The stars are supporting you here. Virgo rising, this is going to be such a strong alignment for your faith, your spirituality, spiritual growth, expansion, astrology if you're interested in it. You could really feel the call toward that. Also just expanding your views of the world, getting involved in things and social causes in a way that you never have before. Becoming more open to seeing more of the world, recognizing more and more that life is short, and exploration and learning of a lot of new things. You could also find yourself under these energies becoming really involved in foreign cultures, foreign languages, maybe people of foreign cultures and foreign languages. You may even work abroad. An opportunity could come up for you to work abroad. A lot can happen under these energies and very positive and powerful things. Libra rising. This Jupiter-Uranus conjunction can absolutely blow the doors open on any and all of your psychic abilities. Remember, we all have them. You can feel much more connected to spirit, to source, to the afterlife. You may feel energy on a much deeper level or understand it at a much deeper level. Maybe it's not something you've ever dabbled in before. Maybe you've been afraid of it, but the mysteries of life and of the afterlife especially are going to become very open for you. Your viewpoint on all of this is going to be changing and expanding, especially if you've never even been one to go into that area before. This might even be precipitated by a loss that you've experienced in the past. You might also have opportunities for tremendous healing. It could be of the very intimate, very sexual level, because it is happening in a space in your chart that does speak to the taboo, the things that we don't talk about, but the things that we crave at a very deep, desirable level. It could also be very powerful for you with investments. So again, if you are going to be taking risks, just weigh out all of the options. This should be a very powerful time for you. Scorpio rising, this alignment can really open up your world when it comes to the partnerships that are a part of your life, your relationships, your connections, the people that you're communicating with and connecting with. New contacts could be coming in. A lot of opportunity here under this alignment for change, for the future, for growth, for innovation, and for expansion. This might be the time where you start a new business, go on a new business venture with a partner. Lots of growth and expansion here. Sagittarius rising. This could be a wonderful opportunity for you to spruce up your life in every sense of that word, to do up the routine differently, to change your job, to repair something health related. You could have a wonderful opportunity, something you didn't think would happen, could actually happen for you. But you're definitely going to have opportunities to really change the way you're doing life and in very unconventional ways. Capricorn rising, you could find yourself being much more connected to your children. You could have opportunities to do more with children, maybe have a child or have more children. And also a lot of creative opportunities can come up for you, as well as opportunities for love if you're in the market for that. This conjunction will actually bring in a lot of positive, fun, lighthearted feelings for you if you allow it. Aquarius rising. This could be a great time for you for real estate, for moving, for home improvements, for any kind of emotional healing. There's going to be plenty of opportunities for growth here, for repairing family relationships that you want to repair, of course. Sudden reconnections could be possible. Things that you never thought would happen were going to start to happen. You may start to understand yourself at a much deeper, different emotional level, and this can be very powerful and very positive for you. Strong energy of foundations being solidified. And last but not least is our Pisces rising. You could have amazing growth when it comes to using your voice, the way that you communicate, the way that you put your language out into the world, the way that you connect with others, the way that you connect with your community. You can have a lot of opportunities for new friendships, new groups to become a part of, new networks. It could really start to feel very busy for you. So if you've been in a slump, this alignment's really going to help to bring you out of your shell. It's going to bring you into the awareness of the people that you need and the people that need you. Remember, Jupiter is one of your ruling planets, Pisces. Jupiter is the traditional ruler of Pisces. So this alignment's also pretty powerful for you. And there you have it, all 12 signs. But I just want to stress that this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction is going to be very big and powerful and opportunistic. But again, Jupiter is the wheel of fortune. You have to take the chance, right? When the chances come around, you have to take the opportunities. you have to take the leap of faith, even if it disrupts the path, even if it comes in unexpectedly, because it might not come back around again for you. So just remember that the name of the game here is freedom, change, growth, expansion, positivity, connectedness, and also higher consciousness, evolution, spiritual wisdom. I hope that that was helpful. I don't know where I went with this video, so hope you enjoyed the tangent. Like my friend Crystal always says, astrology is one big tangent. Take really good care of yourselves. We've had a lot going on. Don't forget, I offer private consultations. The link is down below. We can see how all of this affects you personally. Get an astrological reading, a psychic reading, and we can help you with the bigger picture and moving ahead. Take care.